Make, ready. Present. Fire. Private loads.
Down here milling about, doing whatever civilians do, whatever you guys would do on a Sunday sunny afternoon. That's what they're doing, minus the air conditioning. They look as surprised as you can see one of our civilians is running toward the fort to request help. Loyalists are going to approach our fort and try and negotiate. The loyalists are asking for the complete surrender of the fort. Of course, the guys in the fort are giving them laughter, derision, insults, and refusing completely to surrender. Didn't go well, did it? Yeah, it was bad. Someone has sent like our Highlanders are going to organize themselves. If you're supporting the King today, know that our Highland Regiment volunteers all the way down from Fort Detroit. This is the 42nd Highland Regiment. They're all wearing wool. That's bright red wool. It's not the thin summer wool. They're wearing wool. And they would have been just as uncomfortable in 1770 something as they are right now. And they do this because they love it. We make sure they're as hydrated as we can make them, and then we send them out to do their job. The fun thing about the Highland Regiment is they bring along a surgeon. So they've got their own field physician. And if they need help, they've got it. Of course, our militia forces are taking care of their own. It's pretty rare to have they're serving as physicians, but you can get a few. We've got escapees. Our captain escaped. She made it. That's right. She's almost as fast as Betty Zane if you were here last year. Oh, the cabins are starting to burn. I guess we won't have to take them down if the natives set them on fire. You guys want to help us out? Whoa. That, my friends, is a mortar. It looks like the King's forces have brought a mortar. It's a really short, stubby-looking cannon. Oh, gosh, they hit the fort. That's not. Can you imagine what that would feel like to hear that sound of a really short, stubby cannon bobbing from the sky? Something in your fort explodes. It's a small space. Where are you taking our captives? We had them first. So our militia has gotten these mortar rounds. They're not happy, and they're going to roll out their King howitzer. It's really, really difficult to get artillery this far west at this time because we don't have any paved roads. So you would have had to drag a cannon all the way out here from somewhere like Philadelphia or Baltimore. Carriage wheels and really big animals. So it's pretty impressive that they got one of these. This particular one was recovered from the river next to Fort. It had been tossed in there when the fort changed hands between the British and British. These guys have recovered it and cleaned it up, and it's one of their prized possessions. And they're going to return fire. Guys, if you think the militia with their howitzer gun are going to do all right, let's give them a cheer. Let's give them some support for our artillery guys on the field. Come on, guys. Those Highlanders look hot. Just kill them and send them back. Fortunately, these guys.
What are you doing?
Oh, good. Guys, I was really worried. I was pretty sure we were going to have some Patriot forces, and I wasn't sure if they were going to make it, but if you look to the right, guys, it's representatives from the very first official American Army. Let's give them a big hand if you're an American and you support our troops. They're coming in from the right, all dressed out in their fancy blue coats, just like George Washington wanted them to be. So now we have guys in blue coats. You can root for them. You'll see that when their tails of their coats are turned back, they're red on the inside. If you look at the forces from Britain, their coats are red, and sometimes they're blue on the inside. We weren't real creative on a lot of this stuff. These guys are going to volley back and forth, and if you like to watch historical war movies, you'll know that it gets really loud and really smoky, and it's hard to see, and it gets real scary, and there's a lot of things going on all at one time. But look how well these guys are staying in their lines and following orders and doing what they're told. One of the groups is going to win. How about if you're cheering for King George and the Native Americans and their loyalist friends, let me hear you scream right now. Oh, we got a couple. Okay, good. Look around. Don't make those, folks. If you're cheering for the Continental Army of the United States, let me hear you scream real loud right now. Yeah, good crowd. Yesterday, everybody was mostly asleep. Oh, one of our natives just down. Looks like his friend's going to help him. That's the friend, though. He's the one with the scalp hanging on the end of his weapon. Oh, there we go. That's true friendship. When you're as sweaty and tired as we all are on a Sunday afternoon, it takes a lot to get that close to each other. So that's what friendship is. All right, folks, while we were watching our native friends and all that smoke and our Highlanders are shifting, you might have noticed our militia has kind of snuck out the back door of Fort Henry, and they are forming up to come and support their Continental line. Maybe if we double our numbers, we can take down the Highlanders. These guys are performing actual military moves that were done in the 1770s. You can see the Highlanders had to adjust from two straight lines, one behind the other, into kind of an arrow shape, and that's because they've been flanked by the guys from the fort. They snuck up, and they're over there on the left of the Highland troops, who are now pinned between the militia and the regulars. There's something here. With three sides.
one guy come with a
just
bayonet. Look.
got
Oh, jeez.
wiped out. We got one guy doing a bayonet charge on his own. Bayonet guy, give me a wave. You look up here. Hey.
No, he's a character, buddy.
Disarm him. Because we're charging him. No, I think the Highlanders are backing up. Yeah, right now we're
Yeah.
We've got natives trying to break into the fort, guys. If you can see through the smoke. Continental forces are advancing. It's third down and 8. Continentals are up by 7. Oh. Heyo! Can everybody give a good bye to the Highland forces? It looks like they're on the run. Goodbye! See you guys! Good effort. Wait, don't point that thing at me. I see you down there. JL, powder's always wet. Is that it again? When they start aiming at the narrator, things are really going to get So if you can imagine it probably gets really interesting how long we're going to do this to conceal these maneuvers. Can you imagine? These guys fought this war for more than 5 years. Right down at the base of the hill. Looks like there's an axe battle going. There's tomahawks and knives. Hand-to-hand combat. Told you didn't want to stay under those trees.
No kissing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like the Americans are advancing across the field. So it looks like our Americans have made it all the way to the village and it's now theirs. That's great, they've taken it back. They seem pretty victorious. Can we give them a great big huzzah? Huzzah! Well done, crowd, well done. Those guys are still mad and I don't blame them. You can hear them screaming over there. Hey guys, every single one of the folks on this field does this for fun, studies it, makes sure that their kids in pristine condition, and they actually do get together and train. They read manuals, they practice all day long. We sleep here all weekend in tents, in the rain and the sun, and we do it for you. We do it so that you can have fun and see and taste and smell and talk to real life history and maybe get excited about it, where you've been, where you're going. It's all fun. It's all exciting. These guys are going to come down here. You'll see a little bit more from them, I think. And then if you want to ask them questions, talk to them. They love that. They really want you to know. If any of them doesn't have time to talk because they have to scoot back because they're vendors at our event, I'm sure they'll meet you at their tents later. Once again, the 250th anniversary of the building of Fort Henry here in Wheeling, West Virginia. The 27th annual Fort Henry Days Festival. All volunteer, all for you. They're going to do a a rendition of God Save Our King. Well done.
Bring us a tune.
I sing the mighty power of God that made the mountains rise.
You cannot write two voices at the same time. You gotta make a decision. You would do well to
Dash to the king!
obey his commands.
Dash to him! You stand down!
We have a right
Take control
to
of
gather for worship.
Take control of me! You can't even control yourselves, you traitors!
You're